Hi friends, this is Zamir Basha. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is my first video on YouTube and it is on technical part. I hope you guys like the content. So let's begin. And in this video I want to share my knowledge with you regarding the Oracle ASM. Entire video is practical and simulated in my personal laptop. So what I will do, I will share you with case study 1, case study 2, case study 3, like that. So in that parts I will share. This is the first case study I have prepared. So we will discuss and accordingly we will proceed and simulate in the lab. So this is the case study 1. So here what we do, I will not explain all this stuff. I will provide the document at the end of the video. You can go through it, and I hope you know about what is disk group and what is failure group in the disk group and what is the disk mirroring. I hope all you know about that. Okay. So here we have disk group 1. This is the disk group, and in that we have two failure groups, failure group 1 and failure group 2. So in the failure group 1 we have two disks, disk 1 and disk 2, and failure group 2, disk 3 and disk 4. So here what we will do, we will create these two disks on the laptop hard disk drive. Okay, on the laptop HDD we will create these two disks, and for failure group 2 this disk 3 and disk 4 will be create on pen drive. Okay, because in the middle of the transaction if we remove the pen drive, it will simulate like disk failure. We can simulate it. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, while doing practical you will know about that. So what we will do, these two disk, failure group 1 disk we will create on the laptop HDD, and failure 2 disk we will create on the pen drive. Okay, this is the pen drive. This is the, see this G drive is my pen drive, 4 GB pen drive. So this is the virtual machine setup I have. We have here 2 node rack, Kolkata 02 and 03. Okay, so in this first node what we will do, we will go to the storage and we will add a controller to it. Okay, why we have to add controller means we will attach the disk to that. Okay, this is the first controller. We have other two disks. Okay, this is not part of our testing. So for testing we will add a separate controller, disk controller. Okay, to that disk controller we will add the disk to that. Okay, so to add the disk controller, click on this, where it is, this controller here. Okay, this is the AHI SATA. We have all this sub disk controller, so we will select AHCI SATA. So we have added a controller to this virtual machine. This is Kolkata 02, and so add hard disk to it. Okay, so we don't have hard disks here. Okay, we will create it. So create the disk, virtual disk was image, next, and we have to create fixed size. Why? Because for rack we have to create fixed size disks, because we have to make it as a shareable, because it is a shared storage, right? In rack we have shared storage, so we will not go to the option dynamically allocated, it will not work. So to make the disk as a shareable, okay, we have to select on fixed size. Okay, I will show it to it later. So click on the fixed size and move to the next, and we will give here the name of the disk. So, okay, FG1, that is failure group 1 underscore disk 1. So this is the path I have selected. In F drive virtual machine HDDs, in that Kolkata 02, and in that FG1 disk 1. This is the one disk. We will keep it as simple as for testing. So I will select as a 1 GB as a fixed size disk. So let's create it. So this disk is created on the hard disk. Okay, laptop hard disk. So here we have created the FG1 disk 1. in the laptop HDD we have created FG disk 1. So again go to this and create create disk 2 for the FG1. Go to the fixed size, click on next, and here give the name. Okay, you can select here and give the name like this. Here FG2 and no FG2, it is FG1 only. FG1 disk 2 means failure group 1 disk 2. Save it and make the size as 1 GB and then create it. So we have created two disks, failure group 1 and failure group 2. So again create the disk on for failure group 2, create the disks for failure group 2. So for failure group 2 where we are selecting the path, so we are creating on the pen drive. So select the pen drive, select the virtual. Here I have created one folder. So here we will give the name like FG2 failure group 2 underscore disk 1. For failure group 2 it is a disk 1. So select the size as same. We have to keep the sizes of the disk, entire disk in the entire failure group should be same. Okay, disk 1 I have created. So it will take time because it is a removable storage, right? So it will take time 2 to 3 minutes. I will pause the video and we will come back. Yeah, here failure group 2 disk 1 has been created. Okay, see this is the failure group 2 and disk 1. So we will check the pen drive. So we will go to here. This is a pen drive in the virtual HDDs. They see on the pen drive I have created disk 1 for failure group 2. So let's create a disk 2 for the failure group 2. So here create PDI next, select on the fixed size, go to next, and here browse the path of pen drive, select here and rename it as disk 2. Okay, so saved it and make the size as 1 GB and create it. So it will also take 2 to 3 minutes. We will pause and we will come back. We have created the disk 1 and disk 2 for failure group 1 on laptop HDD and created disk 1 and disk 2 for failure group on G drive, that is on pen drive. Okay, so let's change the type of the disk as shareable. Okay, I will show it to you. Okay, cancel it and go to here file and virtual media manager, and here we have these 4 disks, right? So make it as shareable. Type of the disk as normal, so we have to make it as shareable. So if we have to keep this type as shareable, so we must create the disk as a fixed size disk, not as a dynamically allocated. So that we can make it as a shareable. Otherwise we can't make it as shareable. So apply it. Again go to the disk and shareable and apply it. So this will act as a shared storage. We can use it for rack. Give it as a shareable and apply it. So all are shared storage now, shared disk. So add it to the virtual machines, add it to the nodes. So here we will add a disk controller first. For the disk controller we will add all the disks. Failure group 1 disk. Okay, we have to add one by one. Failure group 2, and add it the second disk for failure group 2. So you have to add in a one flow. So this is a one failure group 1 disk 1, failure group 1 disk 2, failure group 2 disk 1, failure group 2 disk 2. So we have to follow the same path if we follow for the second node also, because on OS level it will assign some SDA, SDB, SDC, SDE, like that. It will follow also one path. So we have to follow like this. So next click on the OK. So here for first node we have added all the disk, and for second node go to the storage and go to the first add the disk controller, and here add the disk fg1 disk 1, fg1 disk 2, same path which we have followed while attaching on node 1, fg2 disk 2, fg2 disk 2, fg2 disk 1, fg2 disk 2, fg1 disk 1, fg1 disk 2, like that. Okay, so we have added here, press OK. So we have added all the shared storage disk to the node 1 and node 2. So start the virtual machines, start it and start it. Okay, we will come back after virtual machines started up. Okay, we will check on the document what are the steps we have performed as of now. So here we have added we have created the disks for failure group 1 and failure group 2, and we have added also for the node 1 and node 2. Okay, and let's start the VM and create the disk group with failure group. Okay, so we have already started the VMs. So what here we will check the disk at OS level. Okay, what we will do, we will check the disk at OS level, what are the disk name they have. OS is provided like SDF, STG, STH, okay, like that, and we will check the size of the disk also. So we will what we will do, we will create the partitions on the disk, but we will not mount any file system. Okay, see at OS level we can see this disk of size 1 GB and which we have recently attached to the machine. We will create partition on those disks, but we will not mount any file system on that because ASM will take care. Okay, so this is the process which we follow to make the partitions, to create partitions on the disk. Okay, so let's create them. Okay, we will move to the virtual machine and we will create the partitions on the disk. Okay, we will connect the virtual machine through putty. So I have made a setup so that we can easily create from my hosted from my laptop putty. So here where is it is Kolkata 02. So open it, Oracle user. So here I have connected to Kolkata 02, that is node 1, and make connect a new session and connect to Kolkata 03. This is made with a different color to differentiate between node 1 and node 2. Okay, so let's create. If we create the partition on the first disk, it will also reflected on the if we create the partitions on the node 1, it will also reflected to the node 2, because those disks are shared disks, right? Okay, so to create that partitions we have to log in with root. Okay, so this is the root. So fdisk -l, so it will list the disk where, see, this is SDE. Okay, SDE it is given 1 GB, SDF 1 GB, SDG 1 GB, SDH 1 GB. So we have OS is named as named those disks are SDE, SDF, SDG, SDH. Okay, you can easily you can see with this command also, sfdisk -l. So it will show like this, unpartitioned disks. Okay, unpartitioned disks are SDE, SDF, SDG, SDH. So let's create the partitions on that. So we have to format disk, fdisk format disk /dev/SDE, enter. Partition we have to create primary partition. If you want to help create it, select M and enter. So we will add a new partition here. We will select the N option, select N and select P, partition number 1, select enter. First cylinder default 1, if you press enter it will default take 1. Okay, last cylinder it will also default 130. You can press enter, just press enter, and here you have to write the partition. Okay, you have created the partition, you have to write. See here, W is the write table to disk and exit. You press W and enter. Okay. Now again SF disk -L, so it will show remaining 3 disks 5F, G, H. We have created partitions on SDE. Okay. This is the partition which we have created, SDE1. Okay. Only one partition we have created for the entire one disk. For the entire disk, we have created only one partition. We have created as a partition, single partition. Okay. So for remaining, we will follow the same process and we will create this partition. Okay. Sorry. F disk /dev/sdf, enter, new P1, enter, write, done. F disk SDG, enter, new, enter, P primary, enter, 1, enter it and write it. Then again F disk, okay, we will select G, right? No, H, new, enter, P, enter, 1, enter and write. Okay. Now list the disk, F disk -L. Okay, all the partitions are created on all the disks, SDE1, SDF1, SDG1, SDH1. Okay. So we will go and check on the node 2 also, su-root password sfdisk-l. See, these disks are also reflecting here, automatically partitions are reflecting here, SDE1, SDF, SDF1, SDG1, SDH1, because these are the shared disks. Okay. So let's move to the document. So we have what we have done, we have created the partitions for the remaining disk. Okay, we have done the partitions, and let's create the Oracle ASM disks. Okay. Here I have created SDE1, SDF1. Here we have the same partitions. Let's check SD, E, F, G, H. Okay, we have the same. Here also E, F, G, H. Okay, we will copy this command. So what we are doing here, we are creating the ASM disk, Oracle ASM disk. Okay, it will take care of the file system. ASM will take care of the file system. We have created the partitions. We have not moved any file system, right? So Oracle ASM will take care of that. So created the disk 11. I have given the name like disk 11, disk 12, disk 13 and disk 14. So let's take the first command, copy it, paste here. So disk created. Second command, Control C, enter, disk created. And third command, Control C, disk created. And this is Control C, disk created. So we have created 4 disks. Now list the disk, Oracle ASM list disk. So disk 11, 12, 13, 14. This disk 1, disk 2, these are already created disk group. Those are belongs to other disk group. So we will take care about these 4 disks, newly created 4 disks only. Disk 11, 12, 13, 14 are newly created. Let's check on the other node, they are reflecting or not. Okay. Oracle ASM list disk. No, they are not reflecting. So what we have to do, we have to scan the disk here. Oracle ASM scan disk. So see, instantiating disk 11, instantiating disk 11, 12, 13, 14. These 4 disks are instantiated at node 2. Okay, after scanning the disk. So what we have to do, we will go to the document and we will check at what step we are. So we have instantiated the disk. We have, after that we listed the disk on the node 2 also. So now we can create the disk group testdg using ASMCA, that is ASM configuration assistant. It is a GUI tool for creating the disk group, and observe the ASM alert log. Okay. To initiate the ASMCA, you have to log into the server console. Okay. After login to the console with user Oracle, you have to set up the environment, ASM environment. Okay. Then you have to initiate the ASMCA command. Okay, we will go to the server console. So this is our server console. We will log into the Oracle user. So here grid owner is also Oracle, and Oracle home owner also Oracle. So we logged into the console. Okay, now open the terminal. Let's check. ASM is running on the, see, ASM is running. Set up the environment plus ASM1. So we have set up the environment. Initiate the ASM CA, ASM conspiracy assistant. So we have initiated. It will open a GUI window. Yeah, it is taking time. Yeah, it will show the existing disk groups, Reco C1, data C1. So these are the, we were not interested on this already created disk groups. We will create new one and test it on. We will test on that. Okay. So what we will do, we will check. No, we will not go to here. We will check directly create, and we will provide the name of the disk group. See here, it is already recommending normal redundancy. Why? Because there are many disks, right? It is already recommending normal. We will go to external. It is a external redundancy. Okay, this is a normal redundancy. External redundancy means it will provide, if you select this option, ASM will not provide any redundancy or any mirroring to the data. It will all take care by your storage provider. Okay, so we will select normal here because we are testing the normal redundancy first. So give the name as a test disk group. Okay, so what we will do here, we will select all the disks. Okay, and we will failure group. We will give the, we can give the name also, disk name also we can give. Okay, if we won't give, it will not affect anything. Okay, so we will not give any disk name here. We will just give failure group here. This is FG1. This is second disk belongs to FG1. Means these two disks are created on the laptop HDD. Please make a note on that. Please keep it, remember. These two disks, first two disks are created on the laptop HDD. Remaining two disks are created on the pen drive. Okay, so that belongs to the FG2. 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 Okay, first two disks are created on the laptop HDD. I will show you, I will remind you again. So this is the pen drive. FG2, disk 1 and disk 2 peripheral group are created on pen drive. Okay, so why we have given this FG1 and FG2, these two are belongs to group 1, failure group 1, and these two disks are belong to failure group 2. So let's show the advanced options. This ASM compatibility is 12.1. It is already given. You can make it as other also, 11.2 also you can make it. And database compatibility, ADM compatibility, this also we can provide. I have mentioned that in the document. What are those things? What is ASM compatibility and what is database compatibility? What is ADVM compatibility? Okay, you can read this. You can go through the document. I will not explain that. Okay, I will create the disk group. Click on the OK. So disk group is creating disk group test DG. After this, disk group will be created like this, and then we can see like this, normal redundancy. Okay, and we can see below alert log on ASM instance. Okay, we will check the ASM alert log also. Okay, we will open that. So here disk group testdg is created successfully. Press OK, and see here testdg disk group created with size 4 GB. Okay, but we are having only 2 GB, less than 2 GB. Why? Because it will give a one failure group size, means failure group 1 is of having 2 GB, right? 1 plus 1 2 GB, and failure group 2 is having 2 plus 2 1 plus 1 2 GB. So we will get only one failure group size, because if an entire failure group failed, then it will available, the data will be available. So we will test that. Okay, so we have only 2 GB now, less than 2 GB. Okay, now disk has been created, this group has been created. Click on S. Okay, ASM CMD LSTG. See, we have total 4 GB, free MB is 3.8, and usable file MB is 1.4 GB. Okay, so this remaining MB will be required for rebalancing. Okay, this is the amount of free MB required for rebalancing. If any disk group, if any disk is failed, then rebalancing will occur, right? For that, this much of space is required. Then we will go to the alert log, ASM alert log. Okay, here we will exit from the root. We will go to the .4inv plus ASM1 cd dollar kill base cd diop cd, here ASM cd ls upon ltr, here cd plus ASM, here cd plus ASM ls upon ltr, here cd trace we will open it, vi alert. We will move to the end of the, here see what happened while creating the disk group. So this is the success. So this is the command at backend, it is executed, ASMCA is executed to create the disk group. We will note it here only we will note it. Okay, here see, this is the command backend, it is executed ASMCA. See, it is executed, it is committed like ASMCA, means ASMCA has been executed this command to create the disk group. Create a disk group testdg with normal redundancy, failure group FG1, failure group FG2, disk 13 which we have selected, and disk 14 for failure group 2, means that is for pen drive, those disks are created on the pen drive, and failure group 1 with the disk 11 and disk 12, those disks are created on the laptop HDD and with attributes compatible ASM 12.1, means from this version this disk group will be compatible. Okay, if you have less than this version, this disk group will not compatible. If you have any Oracle database home which is less than 12.1, means 11.2 or something, this disk group will not support to that Oracle home. Okay, means after that AU size this will taken default. So this is the command, in backend it is executed. Okay, we will check any other thing are there here in the alert log. Nothing. Okay, nothing much, that is the main important one. Okay, let's move it to the document and check where we are. So this is the disk group created, we have checked the size of the disk group. Now check the database status. Okay, it is running or not, to test the disk failure simulation. Okay, we have to go to the database, we will exit this alert log. So instance is not running, so we will start it. Okay, here I have, it is given some error, so I fixed this error and now open the database, and I opened this database. So let's create the table space. Copy. So so the table space is created on test digit is group. So now move to the document and let's see where we are. So it is creating one sample table, that is create table events. Okay, table space test TBS. Here test TBS 1 we have created, right? So what we will do, we'll copy it to the notepad and we will make this table space as test TBS 1. Okay, so let's create it. So where we are creating, we are creating on the sys user only table. So don't bother about that user, we will create on sys only. We are creating the tables in sys schema. So table has been created. So next move to the document and here begin for loop 1 to some lags and inserting the rows. Okay, some rows, and here end loop and here commit. What we will do, we will enclose this commit inside the loop, so that for every record it will commit the record, so that data count will be increasing. We can see the data count is increasing. Okay, even the disk failure happened. So what we will do, we will copy this to the notepad and we will make this commit inside the loop. Okay, and copy this procedure. So what we have written this procedure and we have made this commit inside the loop when we are copying this. Okay, so we will copy and execute here. Okay, we will execute here. Okay, the rows are inserting. What we will do, we will open another putty session, Oracle password environment nms1, it is SQL plus /sysdba, select count of 1 from events. So see, the count is increasing, 45, 48, means this procedure is executing successfully. So what we will do, we will open ASM alert log also before removing the pen drive. Duplicate session, Oracle password and dot space for inv plus ASM1 cd Oracle base slash ASM. No, that is, wait, we will see, cd Oracle base, cd Oracle base, this is dollar Oracle base. Okay, so here we will go to the diag and cd ASM. Okay, ASM cd plus ASM1 trace and tail fun 1000f alert log. Okay, see, we will, this is, we have tailed the ASM log also, so we will keep it aside. You can observe what will happen while we remove the pen drive. Okay, and we will open the database log also. Oracle password for inv ms1 cd dollar Oracle base cd diag RDBMS, NMS, headed 1, trace, tail, hyphen, 1000F, alert. So this is the database log. So this is the ASM log, this is the database log, database alert log. We will check what will happen if we remove the pen drive. It will simulate, okay. So we will check the count also here. See what we will do, we will check the count. See, it is increasing, count is increasing, okay, and database alert log is writing here. And what we will do, we will remove the pen drive. So what happens if we remove the pen drive? If we remove the pen drive, this entire disks will be as a simulated as a failed, means disk failed will happen. This failure has happened, means failure group 2 is failed, entire failure group 2 is failed, will be failed, okay. So let's simulate. This is the data, this is the count, and this is right. See what will happen here and what will happen in ASM alert log and what will be written to the database alert log. So I am removing the pen drive now. So this is the pen drive I have removed, okay. Now see, something has been written to the ASM alert log, and in see here in this disk, in this ASM, in this database alert log, it is written like failed to write mirror side 2 of virtual extent 36 logical extent in group 3 on disk 1. See, disk 14 in group 3 test disk is offline for writes, and disk 13 in group 3 is offline for reads, and here offline for writes, okay. You can move to, can move some here. See, let's check what happened to the count. See, count is increasing still. See, nothing is happening to the data loss. See, count is increasing. In ASM, what is happening here? We will check. PST update group 3 completed successfully. This PST means partner status table, okay. It will you can search it for in Google, you will get to know. PST partner status table means for which disk is the partner. For disk 1 in the failure group 1, what will be the partner disk in failure group 2, okay. That mirroring that partner disk information will be available in this PST table, okay. So still data loss will not occur. See here, it is a cache closing, disk not open, disk 14, updated PST, disk 002. Okay, instantiating PST group 3, initiating offline of disk 0, disk 13. Refresh completed on disk group, testg noting file found. Okay. Okay, like this will happen. Okay, see, now check. You see, the data is still writing, the data is still continuing. See, no data loss. If you check to the pen drive, see, I have removed the pen drive completely here, but still the data is writing, nothing is happened to the data. Okay. See, sometimes previously in my test case, for two failure groups, if I removed one failure group entirely, the data was not written. Okay, it was failed. And what Oracle recommends with ASM disk group with normal redundancy dismounts after failure of only one failure group. Okay, Oracle recommends having a quorum disk or third failure using this document. So previously for the same test, it has been failed for me. Okay, and for the same test, it was successfully completed. It was successfully running. This data is successfully writing for this test. For the same test, it was failed me for one time. Previously, it was failed, and now it is running fine. Okay, see. So for this, as per this previous test, what I have written, Oracle with this document, I have searched in Oracle. We can see that Oracle recommends at least 3 failure groups in normal redundancy, okay, and 5 failure groups for high redundancy. Okay, so what we will do, we will go for case study 2, that is failure of single disk in a failure of single disk in one failure group. Okay, this is the test for entire failure group, failing of entire failure group, and case study 2 is the failure of single disk in a single failure group. Okay, in one of the failure groups, we can say. Okay, I hope you guys like the content. Yeah, I hope you guys like the content. Okay, and you can if you have any doubts or anything, you can write to me on my email ID. I will tell it to, I will write it to in description, video description, and I will provide this document also. You can also test on your virtual machine setup, and what you will get the errors, and what are the difficulties you will face. Please mention it my video comments, and also you can write it to me on my email ID. Okay, directly you can write it to my email ID if you faced any errors or any bugs. zamibasa.p@gmail.com. okay, .com. This is my email ID. Okay, you can write to this my email ID. Okay, so this is the test case study 1. What we have done, we have created 2 failure groups. One failure group is on pen drive and another failure group is on hard disk. Okay, see here, one failure group is on HDD and another failure group is on pen drive. So we removed the pen drive, we removed this pen drive, means failure group 2, we removed it, but still the data is continuously writing. Okay, there is no data loss, and also we can select it, how many counts are increasing. See, 75 previously, it is increasing, the count is increasing. So we will check in ASM CMD what it is showing. Duplicate session. Set the ASM CMD LSDG. Okay, list LSDG. See, now usable MB is decreased. Previously 1.4 it is there, right? Now it became 890 MB. So unrequired memory MB is also 0. Okay, see, total MB also previously it was 4 GB, now it is 2 GB, because one failure group was removed, right? So previously it was 4 GB total, now it is 2 GB, and previously it is 1.4 GB, now it is half of that, 890 900 MB, nearly it is okay. Now free MB is that is okay. See, this is the test DG. So nothing is happened to the disk group, even if one failure group failed completely. Okay. Yeah, one more point here. After logging in, see, if we logging in ASM, it will show the disk status in the failure group, in the disk group, like this. See, this is the data C1 record C1. You can check test.tg is our tested disk group. So disk 11, disk 12, it is status is showing as normal, and it is a failure group belongs to failure group 1. Okay, and disk 13 and disk 14, these are named as a dropped disks. Okay, and its status missing, and it is stated for state as forcing, and it belongs to group 2, failure group 2. And if we check using another command, that is check stats of disk in the disk groups. Okay, so here are the stats. See, same here, dropped, missing, forcing, and nothing is there, nothing is writing, nothing is reading. Okay, all are happening here only. See, it is changing, the values are changing. See, 1.382, 1.40, these values are changing. Okay, because still the data is writing right here, still the count is increasing. See, this much of count, this much of rows are inserted in the table. This is the database log, alert log, and what is happening in the ASM alert log. Here the ASM is dropped to the disk forcedly. Okay, see, alter disk group, test.tg, drop disk 14 force, ASM server. So what are the disk failed, it will drop to the disk from the disk group forcefully. So that is the status we found here. Plus ASM1 SQL plus dash s is ASM. So here this is the status. See, this is dropped, means this is dropped, means the dropped forcing state, means ASM has been dropped to the disk which were failed in forcefully. Okay, that was written in the ASM alert log. See here, alter disk group, test.tg, drop disk 14 forcefully. Okay, so this is the test case, this is the case study 1. Okay, I hope you guys understand, I hope you guys like the content. Okay, now we will finish here the video, we will go to the case study 2. Okay, thank you.